Hey, All Nations Church. My name is Samuel. This is Brian and Darren, and we're doing a video as a part of our prayer and fasting devotional series, and we're going to be talking about humility today. Brian, if you want to go ahead and read James chapter 4, verse 10 for us.
James chapter 4, verse 10 says, "Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up in honor."
Amen. Yeah, and when we were talking about humility, something that we thought of and we were talking about earlier is being like a little kid. A lot of times when you're a kid, you have to look up. You don't have a choice but to be humble. And it would be really weird and it's really annoying if there's a little kid that, they are arrogant and they're talking down to people when it's like, you're a kid, like, what do you know? And that seems so obvious to so many, but that's what it is like with God. Like when we're arrogant, it's annoying to God because God's like, who do you think you are? Like you're nothing. Like you're gone in an instant, but yet that pride and that arrogance, it's not attractive to God. But humility, accepting who we really are in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of this life, and yet knowing that we're loved by God, it's something really amazing. So have you guys ever had moments in life when y'all have been humbled or been thinking like maybe, oh, I could really do this or this would be no problem or something like that? And then,
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody does at some point, whether we realize it or not. I think we all go through things where we get focused on ourselves. And the definition of humility, if you look it up, is to lower yourself. And I think we need to lower ourselves before God and stop focusing on. It's easy to get caught up in the day to day, the me, my problems, versus just giving it to God and making Him our primary focus. And when we do that, when we truly make God the focus, He will honor us.
yeah, for sure. Darren, I know you're in law enforcement, so dealing with people, going on the scene to different incidents and things. And if someone's humble versus if someone's really arrogant, I'm sure that changes a lot about the scene and it changes a lot about how you have to work with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in my job, I deal with all walks of life of people, and you know, people don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be told what to do as an adult. And when we get on scene as police officers, we're in control of that scene. And a lot of people struggle with that. It's just like, with my life, trying to humble myself, knowing that I can't control every situation in my life and be able to fix every situation in my life, but to trust in God and to know that He's going to take care of those things for me. That's a very humbling thing. Just to admit that I got to put my trust in a higher power other than myself. But yeah, it's a daily learning, I guess you could say. So
For sure. So as we get ready to end today's video, let's just say for each of us, one thing that we think of when we think of humility. For me, that's that lowering that we were talking about earlier. Being willing to make ourselves low sometimes can be really hard, and it's countercultural in our society, in our culture. Everyone wants to be the best. Everyone wants to be the richest, the well-known, the most liked. That's what everyone wants to be. And so to put ourselves lower, if you get dealt the wrong cards and you've just got, not a lot to work with, people are like, okay, I get that. But to make yourself low, to make yourself seem like you don't have a lot going for you, not because you're trying to hurt yourself, but because you are humbling yourself before God. I don't think that makes sense to a lot of people. I don't think they see God that way, that He would ever ask someone to do that. That doesn't make sense to them. But it's hard, but it's the best reward ever is when we put ourselves lower and like you said, let go of control. It just makes everything so much easier and just, so much more valuable.
Yeah, I think one of the main things I think of when I talk about humbling myself is, lowering yourself. And what better way to lower yourself than to truly lower yourself, get on your knees and pray.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to humble yourself is through prayer and fasting, which is what we're focusing on right now here at ANC. And I just think prayer is the absolute best way to humble yourself before God and he truly blesses us. He's done so much for
Yeah.
me through prayer, and I know he'll do the same for anybody who calls his name.
Yeah.
Humbling, like you said, is fasting. I mean, when we deprive our body of the one thing it needs to survive is food, that's super humbling to me.
Yeah.
You know, you go a couple days or we're doing this 21-day fast now of certain foods, and I'm a meat eater, so it's very humbling to say no to these things for God to be able to work in my life, to draw closer to God, and just to trust in God for everything.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, as you go about your day, just be thinking about humility today, and enjoy the time with the Lord that you have, and be blessed. And we'll see you soon.